Welcome back. Now, back in the 1960s, frustrated surfers got around the winter months by inventing a new sport, snowboarding. That activity has now become extremely popular in its own right, but now a new craze is hitting the slopes. Like its predecessor, snowkiting is an offshoot of another water sport. And as Joanna Gasharowska found out, it's taking off big time.
Forget queuing for lifts or dodging ski schools. Snowkiting offers a new kind of freedom to skiers and boarders. And it's taking off in a big way.
You can go on mountaintops, on lakes, on fields. You can go basically wherever there's not a lot of trees.
And with this you can ride for 6 or 8 hours each day without having to stop.
Snowkiting has become one of the fastest growing winter sports in recent years. All you need is a pair of skis or a board, a kite, a wide open space, some of the right stuff and a strong wind. It's the latest branch of a sport called power kiting, which has already spawned the summer pastime of kite surfing. And it's especially popular in areas with little in the way of downhill slopes, like parts of Scandinavia and North America. But it's not just for the young and reckless.
The main part of our customers are about 35-year-olds. But we get, it's a very wide crowd that we get. We get both young people, and I think the oldest one has been 65, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a very easy sport to learn. So, and basically, between 4 and 6 hours, you're up and running and can go wherever you want with your kite.
The idea was
professional kiters Eric Fernholm and Christian Sigurdarsson run several snowkiting schools throughout Sweden. They're also the men behind the Nordic Masters, a self-styled battle of Europe's best here in the Swedish resort of Sälen.
perfect.
Skiers and boarders still do the same tricks as they would on a slope, but this time the landing can be more gentle, something that appeals to those for whom bouncing back after a fall can be difficult. But there's also the added appeal of speed if you want it. Up to around 110 kilometers an hour is possible.
You've taken all the best parts of each sport and like combining it into kitesurfing or snowkiting. Because you can have the tricks from wakeboarding, you can have the easiness of skiing.
Not one for sitting back and watching, I decided to try it for myself. Is someone going to be holding me at the back?
We can do that, definitely. You won't really need it,
I
but
don't
we'll
want
do
to
it.
take off. First, a theory lesson on how to harness the power of the wind.
So when you steer here, you pull in left or right. Left, right. And the more aggressive steering you do, the more power you have. So you get it up.
And with that in mind,
great.
it was time to get my hands on the kite.
Well, this is one of the smallest kites they have. It's a training kite. And it's fairly easy to steer, but as you can see, pulling me right off my feet.
Out. See it out like this, and you turn left, like that. And you're flying again.
After getting to grips with the basics, it's on to the beginner four-line kite.
Just approximately here.
Around there, okay.
Yeah. Otherwise you won't be able to stand on your feet.
Great.
And then learning how to walk while strapped in.
Yeah, this is perfect. Like up in that direction. Yeah.
Well, I've had all the training. It's time to put it all into practice. I have got my harness on, a leash, and I've got a pair of skis, because skiing apparently is easier than snowboarding in this sport. So let's get this show on the road then.
Great, and then you can stop. We have the right of way. Okay, I'm going to just keep the car slow.
It may take a little bit to get underway, but once you're going, it really is exhilarating.
Back at the Nordic Masters, the action continues into the night as the wind begins to pick up. And despite the competitors becoming more and more daring in their efforts to secure the title, the guys stress that this sport isn't just for the brave.
We want people to try it, we want people to learn, and I just love to see just families rigging one kite each and going for miles and miles across the mountain, so they can use the kite as a transportation, so they can go wherever they want, which would be very fun to see.
So if you're tired of following the crowds, try strapping on a kite and getting a second wind. Joanna Gajarowska, Al Jazeera, Sälen in Sweden.
One of Thailand's biggest sporting stars and pound for pound one of the best boxers in the world is back after a long sabbatical from the sport. Manas Bumjanyong shot to fame in the Asian kingdom after winning a gold medal at the Athens Olympics, only to then spend the next 2 years partying, if the media reports are to be believed. Now he's back in training and aiming to win another gold at the Beijing Olympics next year, as Wayne Hay now reports.
They come from around the globe for one of the best amateur boxing tournaments on the calendar. Their aim, to take down the home team and take home Thailand's beloved King's Cup. While they're slugging it out, down in the basement car park is a scene that could be straight out of a Rocky film. Thailand's most famous boxer is quietly getting his mind on the job.
This tournament is certainly important for me. I want to win gold and keep His Majesty the King's Cup in the kingdom again. I want to tell all Thais that I'm still good enough.
This tournament is special to Manas Bumjanyong. It is the King's tournament, and to him, the King means everything.
His Majesty wins the Thai heart. To me, he's the best man, probably in this world. He has reigned the longest in our history. In the fight against the Cuban in Athens, I brought the royal portrait into my room. I sat facing his portrait meditating. I made a wish. If I won gold this time, I would give this medal to His Majesty. And I made it to the gold. I followed my wish. I give this gold medal to him with both my hands. He said, "You work hard to this, so keep it yourself." Then he gave it back to me.
Bumjanyong's story is all too familiar in top-level sport. He was the toast of Thailand when he won the light welterweight gold at the Athens Games. It was only the 5th Olympic gold his country had ever won. Then the highs turned to lows. The 2 years that followed were reportedly spent partying and squandering the $600,000 he earned for bringing home gold, although he says he was simply taking time out.
Yes, I was out for 2 years. Nothing much. I just wanted to have a rest. I stopped for 2 years, then came back to prepare for the Asian Games in Doha.
And his 2 years away clearly didn't harm him. The 26-year-old won Asian Games gold.
My weight had gone up to 78, 79 kilograms. I had 2 months to lose this to 64. It was a big pressure for me. People thought that I would not be successful again because I was out of training for too long. Local media said that I let my weight get too high, but I made it in the end.
It doesn't take long to find out why. In his downtime, he's quiet and unassuming, but when he switches on, his speed is lethal, his footwork carefully rehearsed, and inside the ring he displays arrogance, confidence and plenty of trickery. Now he's hoping to use those attributes to carry him to another Olympic title. If he wins in Beijing next year, he'll become the first Thai athlete to win 2 Olympic medals. Then he'll say goodbye to an amateur career that spanned almost 10 years and turned professional.
I want to be world champion in general boxing like others have done before. I want to follow the path of Payo Puntarat, who already passed away. After he won an Olympic medal, he turned pro and became a world champion. I want to do that.
An injury just before the King's Cup saw Bumjanyong add a few unwanted kilograms. He went up to the heavier welterweight division and some of his trademark flair had to go out the window, reverting instead to good old-fashioned scrapping. No problem, he still managed to go all the way. But he insists the division change was a one-off.
I will go down to the 64 kilogram class again after this. I have a problem with strength at this weight. If it's 64 kilograms, I can fight with anybody in the world with no fear.
He could just as easily have decided not to fight, but after being out of the sport for 2 years, missing the King's Cup was not an option.
It was a big pressure for me when I got on the stage. This gold keeps the Prestige Cup in the kingdom again.
The chances are he'll win more gold at the Olympics next year, after which he's not likely to make the same mistakes again. Wayne Hay, Al Jazeera, Bangkok.
And that's all we have time for in this edition of Sportsworld. I'm Rahul Pathak. You're watching Al Jazeera.